The year was 2020 and COVID had hit the world. It was the first wave, and people were coming to terms with how to deal with it. While adults were forced to work from home, for children, their future hung in balance. Whether it was going to school, or playing with friends, or even exams, everything was uncertain. But there was still a silver lining. Coronavirus seemed to be not affecting children. Yes, children could be carriers, but they themselves were not particularly susceptible to COVID. Older adults bore the brunt of the first wave. But everything changed in 2021. In India, the virus has hit back in a deadly second wave. It has mutated and become more ferocious, virulent and stronger than what it was earlier. It is spreading fast and dangerously so. The cases are mounting by the hour, and this time, even children are not being spared.
Hello and welcome. You're watching this India Today special. I'm Chaiti Narula. Children and the second wave. That's our special. Thousands of young kids have been infected by coronavirus as the deadly second wave engulfs India. The long-standing belief that children do not get moderate or severe infection in COVID-19 is getting challenged now, and parents are feeling helpless. Take a look at this report.
The second wave of the COVID pandemic has spared no one, not even little children. At an alarming rate now, children as young as 5 years old are getting severely affected by coronavirus.
10 दिन पहले कोविड रिपोर्ट पॉजिटिव आई थी मेरे बेबी की। स्टार्टिंग में थोड़े से लूज मोशंस हुए, बट फिर लूज मोशंस बढ़ते बढ़ते इतने बढ़ गए कि घर पे मैनेज नहीं हुआ, तो इसलिए हम लोग उनको हॉस्पिटल लेके आए। हॉस्पिटल में फ्लूइड्स, आईवी फ्लूइड्स चले और मेडिकेशंस भी चली, एंटीबायोटिक्स भी चली।
At Madhukar Rainbow, a children's specialist hospital in Delhi, doctors recorded 50 pediatric cases of COVID in 1 week.
The situation is indeed alarming compared to 2020 because in this season of COVID outbreak, we are seeing much more pediatric age group, younger age group. So therefore, parents need to be cautioned that we cannot drop the guard. We have to continue with all the precautions and get the medical attention as soon as required.
Doctors confirm that even newborns and infants are turning COVID positive, though their condition is not fatal. But experts add that older babies are at greater risk. At one hospital in South Delhi, a teenager, COVID positive, is battling for her life, dependent on a ventilator. In Faridabad, Poonam Sharma is under home isolation with her 10-year-old daughter since the 1st of April. The whole family has been infected by coronavirus.
On 1st of April, my entire family was tested COVID positive, including my 10-year-old daughter. We were obviously very much devastated, and it was unbelievable for all of us since we didn't step out of the house during the pandemic at all. We were not at all panicky in front of her, so she was quite normal, and she thought it was a normal fever, cough and cold. These were the symptoms we all had in our house.
So what are the reasons behind the surge of cases among children? Experts claim a new mutant strain could be responsible, also lack of caution among family members as compared to 2020. There's also the issue of increased exposure, particularly in vulnerable areas, and the fact that there's no vaccine yet for children.
In 2021, globally we are seeing a lot of children, almost up to between 20 and 40% in certain areas, to get infected. The T-cell immunity, the lack of ACE receptors in the nasal passage in the throat, and the other interleukins which are protective proteins in the body somehow don't seem to work.
So as a parent, what are the symptoms you need to watch out for in your child? We spoke to doctors who said that gastrointestinal issues, rashes, conjunctivitis are symptoms to watch out for. In cases of delayed response, multi-system inflammatory syndrome is also a symptom. Most importantly, if you see these symptoms, do not self-medicate and contact your doctor immediately.
Across Delhi NCR, over 25,000 cases are being reported on a daily basis. Many include the pediatric age group. Also across Europe and Brazil, children deaths are being reported. So India would do best to exercise caution and prepare in this war against the COVID pandemic. Pooja Shali for India Today.
My colleague Rajdeep Sardesai spoke to two of country's top pediatricians to understand how the second wave is impacting children. He tried to get answers to some of the questions looming large in the minds of parents in these testing times. Listen in.
Is this now a serious threat? Are the numbers increasing of children? And are they particularly susceptible to COVID 2.0?
Thank you, Rajdeep, for having me on your show. So I say this not just out of what we are seeing in Delhi, because I practice out of Delhi, but Apollo has more than 40 facilities where we look after kids across the country. So what we are seeing is definitely more kids are being diagnosed with the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and the manifestations that we are seeing this time are different. While typically you have fever and cough and a sore throat and generally feeling very weak, what we are definitely seeing this time is diarrhea and vomiting, which traditionally one does not associate with COVID-19. So that's different. The numbers are higher in Maharashtra than they are in other parts of the country. But having said that, the numbers are definitely more this time around than we saw last year. There could be multiple reasons for that. And as your report just mentioned, It could very well be the mutant and how the mutant is behaving. But one reason that I definitely see, and I see that on the streets of Delhi and on the visuals that we see across channels, is the fatigue that has set in for this COVID avoidance behavior. And I call it the COVID avoidance behavior fatigue syndrome. So people are just tired. They want to throw their masks, and sanitation and social distancing is being given a miss. And it's been going on for 15 months, so people are tired. But people keep saying, I haven't stepped out and I haven't been exposed, but you're not wearing a mask. And if you meet someone, even for a brief period, and that person's carrying it and then develop symptoms 2 days later, well, then you've got it. And once you've got it, you're not masked inside the house, then others get it. And I think the proportion of kids might even be more, because not very many kids get tested. It's usually the adults who get tested. Kids don't get tested very often. So we have an issue here. But the good news is that most of the kids do really well. And so the message that needs to go out from your program is for parents to be cautious, but not to get unduly worried. Consult your pediatrician, take advice, don't ignore it, but don't panic. There is no reason to panic. In kids, it doesn't take usually a course for
so you're
getting
saying
into
kids,
ICU and so on. So yes, it does sometimes, occasionally, but not that often.
Okay, so it's not necessarily it's not fatal. So there's no need to be alarmed. Dr. Srivastava, what is the line of treatment you recommend for parents whose children suffer from COVID-19? What would be the ideal line of treatment, Dr. Srivastava?
Hi, good evening, Mr. Sardesai. Thank you for having me here. So like Dr. Sybil said, we are also seeing a lot of surge in children. Like in our hospital in the last 2 months, physical and online video consulting, we have at least seen 300 children. What I'm finding different for this time is these children are, as we all know, they are more of the high-rise buildings. These buildings, these parents had kept these children in the house for a very long time. And then when they saw that the cases had reduced, all of them had to move around and they started getting a little lax, and that's how the children got the infection. Also, what I'm seeing this time is the children are the beginning of the infection in the family. Like I normally get a call saying that my child is having fever, like he said, loose motions, vomiting, and runny nose. And, that's when I know that we are dealing with COVID. And till that time, the family has no other member who's affected. And this is what, this is a constant 7 to 10 calls keep on seeing per day.
So what?
And physically also.
Dr. Srivastava, the treatment. What's the treatment?
What we
sorry to intervene, but what's the ideal treatment?
Yes.
What's the treatment?
So for as the COVID in children we know is not very, very bad, what we ask them to do is keep a temperature monitor, but measure with a thermometer, use a right thermometer, which is underarm, and either it can be digital mercury. Try avoiding using the forehead thermometer. Sometimes they may not be giving you a right reading. Use paracetamol in the dose which is recommended by their doctors, by their pediatrician. Normally, we see the fever lasts for 36 to 48 hours. It ranges from 100 to 102. After that, some of them have loose motion, so we ask them to give a little probiotics and keep them hydrated. In COVID, there is no specific COVID treatment given to any child. What we give them is just a supportive medicine. That is in the form of zinc, which is given to them, a multivitamin, a vitamin C in some form, and what we give them is vitamin D if they are already not taking the vitamin D.
Lockdowns, unlocks and re-lockdowns. Since the pandemic hit, it has taken a toll on the mental health of everybody. But what about children whose entire lives have been turned upside down? That too in an age not appropriate to understand or cope with the gravity of the situation. Take a look.
COVID has been haunting the world for over a year now, and in big urban centers, the restrictions seem never-ending. Doctors are worried that this is impacting the mental and emotional well-being of young, impressionable minds. Lockdowns and curfews have also turned young lives upside down.
जहाँ पे वो लोग बाहर खेलने नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, जहाँ पे घर में मम्मी डैडी अपने काम में, उनको घर का भी काम करना है मम्मी को और ऑफिस का भी काम करना है, और जहाँ पे वो दूसरे फ्रेंड्स या फैमिली मेंबर्स को नहीं मिल पा रहा है, इनमें ये छोटे बच्चे जो रहते हैं उनको काफ़ी एंजाइटी, मतलब वो चिपकने लगे हैं अपने पेरेंट्स से, वो लोग कंफर्टेबल नहीं रह रहे हैं, उनके स्लीप थोड़े डिस्टर्ब हो गए, उनमें एक चीज़ जैसे कि टेम्पर टैंट्रम्स जिद बोलते हैं ना, वो हाई लेवल का चालू हो गया है.
In big cities and urban hubs like Delhi or Mumbai, doctors are now seeing increased number of children complaining of lockdown-related illness. But their worry is that with the second wave being more intense, the numbers might increase exponentially.
See, basically the lockdown has had a lot of impact on children. Young children are the most impacted because they've been at home for the past year and a half, attending online schools, being at home, not being able to be with their friends, other things happening along with it. This chap came to us at about, he was quite harrowed. He had sleepless nights for the past few weeks at least. He was continuously on his screen at least about 10 to 12 hours a day. He was quite engrossed with all that is happening all over the world, and obviously was very, very worried for himself and others at that point of time. So when we spoke to him at length, he came to us as a neurologist. He came to me with complaints of headache and dizziness. After taking a detailed history, we came to know that he has other symptoms, other psychosocial and psychological symptoms which were there, which were more contributing to the symptoms what he had, rather than per se any neurological illness in him at that point of time.
To address the emotional impact of the second COVID wave, mental health experts are suggesting coping mechanisms. And one of the most common advices being given out to parents is to find ways of reducing screen time for children. Doctors are also saying that as much as possible physical contact and in-person interaction is also necessary.
Here a mother comes and says that I'm very worried about this child. उसको वो बोल रहे थे कि ये बेबी एटलीस्ट 20-25 वर्ड्स बोल रहा था और एक दो सेंटेंसेस ज्वाइन करने की कोशिश कर रहा था, लेकिन अभी धीरे धीरे लास्ट फ्यू मंथ्स में हमने देखा है कि उसने वो सब बोलना बंद कर दिया है. The child spent lot of time on screen. it is known as screen time, where he would watch either TV or mobile or iPad. Wo by these form of what comes on their screen, which is like in 2D images, and our real life is a 3D image. They don't understand, they cannot grasp it, and they get affected by it psychologically. If some more symptoms are seen, then we give it, in fact, a name of virtual autism also.
Reducing screen time may well be one of the top recommendations by all doctors. But the child's life now is being dominated by their online requirements. Online classes, virtually meeting friends, no outdoor activity. These are certainly harsh times for children because they are having to grow up under such restrictions.
By now, we have understood that children are also bearing the brunt of the second wave of coronavirus. But what exactly is happening in terms of scientific progress on that front? Take a look.
The long-standing belief that children do not get moderate or severe infection in COVID-19 is getting challenged now. In India, there has been a stark difference between the first wave and the second wave of infection that seems to indicate that children too are extremely vulnerable. The data comparison for cases of child infection in the first 15 days of April this year compared to over a month's data from last year shows that the doubling rate in children is increasing.
Multisystem inflammatory disease in children is one of the complications of COVID-19. It is seen as an inflammatory response to COVID antigen. The symptoms can vary from mild fever or sometimes to late complications like heart failure, myocarditis, and sometimes shock and death.
The World Health Organization in the month of October had said that COVID-19 is much less frequent in children than in adults. Children and adolescents represent about 8% of the reported cases and 29% of the global population. But this seems to be changing now. So when should parents get the child to the doctor?
Patient having severe pain in abdomen, patient having rash over whole body, and any fever is persisting more than 5 to 7 days. And there is some general red herring sign we call in pediatric, if the baby is not able to take orally, if baby is continuously vomiting, or there is some abnormal movement in form of seizure because they are having high-grade fever, they should seek doctor help.
The need of the hour perhaps is to vaccinate children, to in fact look whether the trials are providing some protection and eventually then give them the vaccine against COVID-19. Because in the first wave, they were asymptomatic carriers of this infection. Now they are developing severe infection. In New Delhi, Sneha Murdani for India Today.
Once a daily routine in any kid's life, physical schools now seem to be a distant reality. Up next, a report on what is happening in the empty school building as the schools shut down again and how the kids are coping with everything that is shifting online.
Once a classroom filled with future aspirations, today a room emblematic of the worst in the pandemic. Rows of empty beds, all laid out and ready for the surge of the sick.
अभी जो कोविड के बेड की समस्या आ रही है, इसीलिए हमने ये आज रुस्तम जी स्कूल में 150 लोगों का क्वारंटाइन सेंटर तैयार कर दिया है. कल या परसों हम लोग यहाँ चालू कर देंगे.
Across the country, with schools having remained shut for more than a year, the recent rise in COVID-19 cases has seen many a classroom being repurposed to attend to the needs of the pandemic. And in places where they did try and open physical classrooms, a determined virus shut them down again. With the second surge in COVID cases taking a deadly toll, board examinations for 10th stand cancelled. For others, the future remains uncertain and in a limbo. So with the start of another academic year looming, classrooms have no other option but to remain online.
We have already closed down the classwork for class 1 to 9, duly promoting the students from 1 to 9 and declaring holiday summer vacation for them, including the teachers.
और जो ऑफलाइन एग्ज़ाम थे वो रिस्ट्रिक्ट किए हमने. सभी एग्ज़ाम अभी ऑनलाइन ही होने चाहिए. ये परिपत्रक हमारा कल से जारी हो रहा है. मेरे ख्याल से जो पेंडिंग 30% एग्ज़ाम जो है, जो ऑफलाइन होने वाले थे, ऑनलाइन होने वाले थे, तो स्ट्रिक्टली हमने गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से कह दिया है कि अभी जो एग्ज़ाम है वो ऑनलाइन ही होनी चाहिए.
We have increased the number of centers. We have developed an app for the students to trace out their center, location of their seats and everything. So we made all out efforts to reduce the movement of students during the examination time and then reduce the points of contact also. So I hope, as of now, actually we have appraised our plan of action.
India has the largest student population in the world. And while the world deals with the pandemic outside, the young remain locked indoors, staring at an uncertain future.
Thank you for watching. Bye for now. This is Chaiti Narula signing off.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.